Hello YouTube and welcome to Happy Hour. Today I'm going to review the Deanston 12-year-old. Hello Happy Hour. Nope. Hello YouTube. Welcome back to Happy Hour. Today I've got another Scotch whiskey review. It seems to be a running habit around here. But one that I'm quite excited about. Not so much maybe to share with you because I feel like I'm maybe a little bit behind the times on this particular brand, but if you can believe it or not, this year, this brand, Deanston, is brand new to me, and man, am I happy I found it. So today we're going to go through the Deanston 12-year-old. As you can see, I have enjoyed this bottle very, very much, so much so that I have 3 more bottles behind me, as well as 2 other bottles from this brand. But I dare I say I love it. I love what I've tasted so far. If you remember, or if you watched a couple of videos ago, I did a Old Pulteney 12-year-old review. And I kind of said in there, you know, it's been kind of a standard for me, a very, I don't want to say basic, but a go-to for me over the last many years, as a, you know, my standard bourbon aged, ex-bourbon barrel aged kind of standard Scotch whiskey. Yeah, it's 40%. It's probably chill filtered. There might or might not be color. All the stuff that we generally look for in whiskeys. Ideally, it doesn't have any of that. But what it does do is taste really good, which really is all that matters. It tastes really good to me, at least. Yeah, it's been a go-to for mine for years and years. It's reasonably priced. It's like 45 bucks around me. And when I want just a straight ahead, you know, somewhat interesting bourbon aged whiskey, non-sherry, non-peated, just a straight ahead whiskey, I kind of reach for the Old Pulteney. Now that is kind of changing since I've found this Deanston 12-year-old. So let's go through the specs a little bit first. So it's a 12-year-old whiskey, 12-year-old single malt. It's 46.3% alcohol, so bonus right there. It is unchill filtered, and I believe it's non-color added. I would doubt there's any color in there, but I can't remember if I saw that or not. And the print is so friggin' small, but I know it's unchill filtered and it's 46.3, 12-year-old single malt, all ex-bourbon, no sherry casks in here. And it runs for about the same price as the Old Pulteney around here. Maybe a couple of dollars more. I feel like it's maybe like $47, $48. And it's friggin' fantastic. So let's jump into it. I wanted to do this review before I killed this bottle, so it's a perfect time for me to do both. It's almost done. So yeah, the one thing that I remember, it's been a couple weeks since I've had it. So on the Old Pulteney, there is not overwhelming, but what makes it quite unique, the number one thing that makes it unique to me is this: there's a brininess, a saltiness. I think I said in that video that, you know, the old tin or even the new tin, there's an old ship on it. And it just really, when I smelt it, it reminded me of the sea air. Like I could picture the cold, you know, Scottish coast and boats bouncing around in the water. And I could really, you know, picture what it smelt like. And I just really enjoyed it. It was, again, it's a pretty straight ahead bourbon finish whiskey, but it had something unique in it that I really enjoyed. This is the same, but in a totally different way. So there's something very unique about it. So a lot of bourbon, straight, you know, non-sherried whiskeys, non-peated whiskeys, scotches, I generally get an apple note. I've said this many times. It's usually kind of an apple cidery note or kind of a green apple note. I get the green apple note in here, but what I get is this incredible sweet, like cereal. I know it sounds crazy. Not the cereal part doesn't sound crazy, but what I'm about to say, man, it reminds me of like the milk that you have after, like, when you're a kid, or maybe when you're an adult. If you have like a really sweet cereal, like Frosted Flakes or something, and you got that sweet milk at the end, I get that from it, like the sugary, malty cereal smell, and it really smells so good. Like there's fruits in there too, like a little bit of citrus. I get the apple, I get the green apple, not the apple cider note, which I think is generally more sherried whiskeys for me. But there's that cereal, so you get a lot of the malt and a lot of the, you know, the malted barley. But there's like a friggin' powdered sugar coating it. Yeah, it reminds me of like Frosted Flakes, like the milk that Frosted Flakes soaked in after a while. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I can't articulate it very well, but it's I guess it's because it's like sweet and cereal. I have that's the connotation that I have in my head. But there's also, again, there's like fruitiness to it. It's far more complex than the old Pulteney. No disrespect to the old Pulteney. I love that 12-year-old, but I think maybe the 46.3 helps that a little bit as well. The fact that it's a little bit higher strength, but there's just a lot going on. Fruity, malty, sweet, sugary. Let's have a sip. God, this is so good. I forgot how good it was. Well, I don't know why I should. This is like 2 nights worth, I think. And the next day I went and bought, like I said, several more bottles. That's how it was like an epiphany for me. So malty, quite malty. I don't get a lot of the apple on the taste. I do get the cereal. I do get the sweetness, that powdered sugar. There's a little bit of a fruit, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Oh God, it's incredibly sweet, but not like gross sweet. I don't know. Like, actually, I like sweet. Some people may be turned off by super sweet stuff, but I think in some sherried whiskeys, really, really sweet can be a little bit off-putting because it's almost like, because generally sherried finished whiskeys, there's a bit of that funk that comes with it. So for some people, it can be off-putting, but this is like a fresh, clean, crisp, sweet. Oh man, the powdered sugar is coming through incredibly this time. I don't know. This is kind of almost perfect. When I say perfect for what you're getting, if you're looking for kind of a straight ahead, good old fashioned Scotch whiskey, no fancy finishings. You want to keep the smoke aside. You don't want anything peated in there. Just an ex-bourbon barrel finished whiskey. 12-year-old single malt, 46.3, unchill filtered for about 46, 47, 48 bucks in my area. Again, roughly in the same price as a lot of other, I don't want to say mediocre, but a lot of other 12-year-olds that aren't doing what this is doing, dare I say. So yeah, this is as good as it gets as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure there's other ones out there, and I'm going to keep looking and I'm going to keep trying, but this is kind of nudging the old Pulteney aside for something that's relatively inexpensive and a 12-year-old that I can just grab and I know it's going to be fantastic. So like I said, I bought a couple other bottles. I got the 18-year-old that I purchased from overseas. I got 2 or 3 more bottles of this, and then I got, the 15-year-old organic, which I'll probably do a review on as well. Yeah, so, Deanston, these guys are knocking it out of the park. I'm so happy I found them this year. So Aaron Distillery and Deanston are my 2 new to me this year favorite distilleries going. So I'm digging them both. And yeah, if you've tried it, you may or may not agree with me. I think it's from what I've garnered after the fact, reading a bunch of reviews and seeing what the community in general thinks of it. I think it's quite highly regarded. I don't know where the hell I've been for the last umpteen years, but yeah, if you haven't tried it, definitely try it. If this is up your, this type of flavor profile is up your alley, you can't go wrong. It's killer. So yeah, I'm gonna give this is a 9.5 out of 10. This is as close to a 10. I'm scared to give something, not scared, what's stupid. I'm not scared of giving it anything a 10, but I like to leave something open because I feel like maybe there is a 10 out there that's just like blows my mind. But this is pretty close. This is checks all the boxes for me. So I'm gonna give this a 9.5 out of 10. So yeah, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, that'd be cool. And if you'd like to subscribe, that'd be great as well. Stay tuned for the next video. I have no idea what it'll be, but it'll probably be a whiskey, since that's what we kind of do around here. Cheers, thanks for watching Happy Hour. Have a great one.